All right, welcome back to The Devil in Detail, the Grendel Reread podcast. I'm Eli.
And I'm live in the studio. I'm Ben. Hooray!
That's right, we're here, and it's The Devil in Detail live. We're together. I mean, we're not live, but we are going over the next issue, number 28 in the Kamiko Grendel Volume 2, man.
It's episode 77 of the podcast.
Can you believe it?
All right, we do a lot of comic booking and getting ready to dive in and do a lot of podcasting. And this is the first that we're doing on this trip.
I know, it's amazing.
A historic visit.
It's a historic visit. It's the first time, as everyone knows, that we're together in the same room when we're here in my corner. And let's talk about the first thing we did when you got here. We made an amazing dinner. We hung out.
Yes.
And we barbecued out back. Some salmon. Some many drinks were had. And it was a lot of fun. I'm so glad you're here. We're both fully vaxxed and boosted, so everyone knows we're taking all the things we can take here, the precautions to be good. But we're going over this meeting adjourned. Grendelizations. We got loads and loads of comics, stacks on stacks of comics. We're going to be going over them. We are going to be doing a lot of things to create some cool content for the podcast. So I'm super excited, Ben. Yeah.
Very cool.
All right, sweet. So you're ready. What we're gonna do for the issues now, we're gonna go to the overhead cam over here on the table, and we're gonna go through the issue.
Meet you at the camera.
Oh.
Two in the box, ready to go. Fast, maybe slow. Yeah. Vivat Grendel.
It's like the devil is my best friend. On the roads with the pen to the fork end, or till time end. Like Orion, Jupiter, my kin, bloodline private. We control the whole shit. The wolf won't beef, then we feast off the rip. Behold the devil in detail. Behold the devil in detail.
All right, we are back, and we're about to go to the overhead cam. This is our first time live in the studio, so we're doing it kind of crazy, but
We're figuring it out.
we're gonna do it. So we're going over now to the overhead cam. Let's do it. All right, here we are. We're back, and we're at the overhead cam, and we're looking at Grendel number 28. Look at this cover, dude.
Yeah, the contrast between the texture and splatter of the spray paint and the really precise white shattered glass behind it is quite cool. And then the treat that you get when you see meeting adjourned, which is a phrase that we've heard at least 4 or 5 times so far.
That's right, the Deva Princes.
If not earlier, we heard an Omnicore also for the first time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's a COP guy who spray painted that on the wall, which is a great piece of, like, remember when the Panders would give us a little bit of story in their covers?
Oh yeah,
this is a wonderful example.
This is it for sure. Cool. All right, sweet. So we open up and we see Eppy Thatcher, and if you remember, we last left him, and he was like taking out 2 of these guys.
He's getting the drop on.
Yeah,
Drop had
exactly. And they're at this service, and he's like, oh, he's not having it. He's about to rip in.
Yeah.
He said first blood. Okay, yeah. So then Eppy's got these awesome shoes on where he's like flying around, you know. It's like hover boots. Yeah.
Innocent's speech to the people is all just like religious dogma, and they're I love it. Yowza, 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 and the hands right.
That was a big word at that time.
There's some great camera work on JKS, his part.
Mm-hmm.
And we see Eppy slag this security camera with his electric fork.
Yeah, he's psyched, and then he's back up on top, and he like hacks in his speech over Pope Innocent's speech. So now the entire audience is instead hearing him do this like insane proclamation.
I love that it's on a reel-to-reel player.
Oh yeah,
you know, it's exactly the type that Larry, hopeful Larry, used to bring around.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also it's a great, like, retro tech kind of.
Yeah, we love that. They're always doing that.
This is probably one of the best pieces of that around.
Yep, and he goes in there, and then he shoots this dart at Pope Innocent's buddy right here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! All right.
And what plays is it's basically like Batman Returns when Danny DeVito, like when they hack Danny DeVito's speech to play all the awful things he said.
Oh yeah.
And exactly. So the red in panel 1 when he's hacking is still innocent speech.
Right.
And then it switches over, and Eppy is just gonna be a disruptor and be a harlequin and kill people while he's doing it. He's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the blow dart is wild.
Okay, so yeah, he hits the dart, and then what? It blows him up. It just blows up that dude.
It explodes his body.
Yeah.
Like
Oh
his
my
shoe
god.
flies
off,
ground.
and Innocent is covered in the remains of his
And
body.
then the other guy gets hit like a total dope.
Oh yeah.
That's really funny. Yeah, so they
And then he
blow up again.
splashes on the other side, explosive. Oh man, Eppy's doing it, and then he like engulfs himself in this like orange bubble of like it's almost like it's like a force field bubble, and it's like a
Yeah, Orion's response to this is that this guy is obviously a genius. He assumes that he built it himself,
Mhm.
and he explains that like there's a limitation on this kind of like force field technology as we understand it a little bit.
Yeah.
So like the fact that this guy can do this tech that like makes him look like a demon, makes him look supernatural. It's a power that appears like magic.
Got it.
He's but there is a lot of funny panels here when he's kind of like when he spears the Pope's hat.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
kind of
And
like
then puts it
Spider-Man.
on. Yeah.
Yeah.
As they're just shooting at him and the bullets are bouncing off, and he has the hat on, and then he just like rips it in half,
Yeah.
So sick. These pages are epic, man. Epic.
Epic.
Oh man, and he's just flying. Like, I mean, this is a really powerful image. He's flying at us. This right here is like, man,
Yeah,
I should be
it
a
looks
shirt.
like a Marvel superhero.
It does, yeah.
Of some sort.
That's so good.
Some Guardian of the Galaxy or something.
Mhm.
This next page is where Pellon comes in hot on his
Oh
bike,
yeah.
and it's really laid out nicely. The overlap of his elbow next to his eye in the inset panel is really
Over here?
is really cool.
Oh yeah.
So this is their second face off in 2 issues, I guess.
Right, and all this orange is still Orion like talking about the stuff and like kind of narrating what we can visually see.
Yeah.
And almost every issue, because I do break them up for the weeks, I kind of do like forget who's originally talking, and I feel like it's almost ambiguous at the beginning sometimes to be like,
Yeah.
to kind of bring you back in.
They do drop you in the deep end with
Pretty
that.
hard,
They always
yeah.
have.
Yeah.
They just expect you. This like high angle one,
Mhm.
but then with the streets is so burny.
Oh
Like
man, yeah.
it's just like something like Pellon in his face in that in the windshield.
Yeah.
Really cool.
We forgot to say too that this is again inked by Bernie.
Yeah, this
Rao.
is it. Yeah, it's a little bit burny.
Yeah. All right, turn the page here, and he finally gets in one. He loses one shoe here. One of his hover shoes like pops out.
And it is funny. Like it's it's one of many funny drawings of Eppy as the
The Harlequin.
clown.
Yeah.
For sure. He was smoking cigars previously.
Pellon Cross.
Today's
Yeah.
a cigarette day.
Yeah, he needs just a little.
Remember in the beginning of this project when everyone that smoked was like, "Oh, that's a joint."
Yeah.
Now they're all cigarette smokers.
Yeah, they all. Yeah. There's not as much. All right, so yeah, Eppy gets thrown through this building, and he's just like waiting on him. He parked outside, and he's just waiting, puffing his ciggy. And then Eppy blasts through, and we were talking
It's
before
like a
about this.
superhero fight.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
And
When you see John's stuff and how easily he does pulp and Golden Age Adventurers and just adventure and Kirby type stuff, it all makes a lot of
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, this is just really good. And okay, so now he throws out this brick, smashes off the side of Pellon, crashes through his windshield, and then he kind of starts puttering away, and Eppy flips out.
It's funny because the windshield almost looks like a gutter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And so that kind of sends him spinning out, and he crashes. They kind of both crash. And this is an interesting thing. Like as Eppy escapes, he says, everyone scatter, the rest of you flee. And he's like, as shall I. Anyone care to join me for a dip in the depths? And he jumps down. He's like, nope,
Yeah.
didn't think so.
And this is
Pellon's
like a Mad Magazine type drawing.
Yeah,
it
I love it.
really is funny. So he butt lasers the lid. He tiddlywinks the lid of a manhole cover off.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
The Fork's always got its hidden tools. And but this is an interesting thing. I thought that Orion was saying too, like later on when it was reported, it said like official reports claim that Grendel had killed several bystanders before ducking into the sewers, but this wasn't true. So they're already sensationalizing everything that this Grendel does.
But isn't there a place where
But he does kill people. Like he just killed the altar boys.
He's killed people. Yeah, he blew those people up. Yeah,
I like that.
And he threw that baby off, that little kid off the floating thing at the beginning.
Sometimes in Funky Town, there's just like a body lying in blood.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's getting funky.
I really like this drawing of Pellon crosses like a cigarette.
Yeah,
bent
up
90 degrees. Yeah,
that's good. All right, so yeah, now Pellon's pissed, and he smashes in to Pope Innocent's area, and they're like, he won't see you, and he's like, he'll see me, and he's just going for it.
He's trying to get more info. The Pope is really, he's using the attack as an excuse to just be like, oh, he's really very upset.
Mm-hmm. He's like, fine, you won't talk to me, well then, or he won't talk to me, then you will.
Here's the Amazon.
Yeah, now we can really get some ads going on in here. You got the Amazon today.
I just got the Amazon today.
Yeah, we were at Spiritus Heroes here
we'll
in town.
have to do an overhead video on
All
the Amazon.
right, yeah.
I looked at it for the first time. I had no idea what it was going to look like. And every page is like, oh, this is incredible.
Yeah, dude, Billy 99 too, after we talked about it before, is amazing too. A lot of amazing screen tone in that book.
Okay. All
right, so he continues here and he's like, listen, dude, you're gonna get me some stuff. And this is where you were saying it's a lot of, this is a huge info dump. This is like exposition, 1.0.
Yeah.
So this is when this dude really lays out all this stuff, everything about the sun laser, the sun gun. It's a gun, a war device. And then he's talking about, no, he's planning on, well, he doesn't get that deep into it. It's a monstrous device hidden high in the unfinished spires of the tower itself.
Basically, the plan that he tells him is that we're going to collect solar energy. For some reason, we need bananas to collect solar energy.
Yeah, we need bananas. A bunch of them. It's for his mandrill. Some of them got it.
And we'll shoot it up into our atmosphere to destroy it, to create like a impenetrable cloud that will absorb all of the ultraviolet radiations.
Exactly.
And it will create worse conditions on Earth. So we'll create more of a church-run theocratic welfare state.
Yeah,
basically, like everyone, like anyone that's going to want any kind of aid, which will be all these people, except they're not really people that we've had a chance to see because we spend our time.
We aren't seeing any normal
like
people,
aristocrats and stuff like that.
Daily life.
So, yeah. So it's a crazy plan that gets kind of info dumped.
Yeah.
But this second
and there's still more to come.
Here
yeah.
Is like
so good.
It's one.
Is that
screen
Duo
tone,
oh, it is. Yeah.
But it looks like Duo Shade or something else because there's
super fine.
There's fine stuff with
points in there.
Yeah. Really, really cool. I thought this statue was this like kind of lone wolf and cub saint statue.
Yeah.
Was pretty cool. I wasn't sure. All right, so this is
Pellon's like, you're coming in loud and clear. So he's like, finally got it. He knows about the gun. And I think we're ready to go.
Right. And they say, like, why don't you say anything? And they say, well, he's
our
God
king figure. Why would we? He must have our best things. All right. So here we come to the Deva Princes, and they're meeting again. And we have our first kind of like sea story thingy going on. As these bats are circling
get some grubs.
Right. Now, Orion is the bat, and the grubs are like the rest of the Devas.
The way I started reading it, especially to this one, is that the hunter as a natural occurrence in nature is what we're seeing here.
Yeah.
And it's saying that like these survival drives that can be ruthless and horrible and unlimited, they exist for everyone's survival.
Yeah. I'll tell you, and I'm not joking. At first, I kind of thought that this was these like little spy bugs he had in the dark room of the Deva Princes at first. I was like, wait, what's going on here? Because I didn't like make the connection between the bats and the thing at first.
Fair enough.
And then,
I really like Joe's airbrush on
beautiful
on the floor. Really cool. Really just like interesting. How he does it. How he does it all.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. And so the Devas are meeting right here, and they're like, "Are you all still down to do that thing we were talking about, kill Pope Innocent?" And they're all kind of like, "Yeah, but what about it was the North Wind, right?"
Right.
Orion was the North Wind. He walked out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're like, we have to replace. We have to like, regroup. And so they're like, do y'all have a plan for the new North Wind? And they're like, yeah.
We don't know much about the Deva Princes
Princess.
here. We learned that Orion was a founding member.
Yeah.
So they
Even
can't-
before you, someone says like talking.
right. So it can't be more than 20 years old.
Right.
Like, I mean,
right. Unless it was passed on from his father or something like that, or
maybe it's I feel like there's a lot more other story to be
the Devas
to be fleshed out with a lot of this stuff.
Who, why, like what do they really do? Like what do they regulate? Kind of stuff.
It's funny. It's like in my mind, the everyday folks are not so different from the devil's hormonal, the teenage, like the warrior gang stuff. So.
Yeah.
All right. So what are they gonna do? They got to recruit a fourth guy to be at full
And
strength.
they're like, we got a guy, and they're also like, I think he can help us with, like, he's from Japan, he's got connections to Japan, and that's going to help us like get rid of Puppet. He's got a team. Yeah.
All right, great.
All right, so we're back over here. We see Orion confronting that nervous character that was at the like
Grimes.
Yeah, of course he's grimy, like from Simpsons. Old Frank Grimes.
So he's already been spoken to apparently by the Pope for not being forthcoming.
Exactly.
Orion says, WTF.
WTF.
And he gives a show of strength, and this guy knows that he can't bullshit around anymore.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, he's here with this dude. He's here with the dude, Grimy, of course.
He looks like the Mad Hatter.
Yeah, he does. And so Grimey's like, we did everything right. I looked at the numbers myself. We would never do this. Come on.
Yeah, no, he's got.
And Orion's like
receiving receipts from elsewhere. I really like where he like pulls the thing and wraps around his wrist a bunch of times.
Yeah, dude.
What
oh
a
my
badass.
God. Okay, so Orion's going in and he's like laying it out for this dude, and the dude's like, okay, well, okay. Orion's like, they matched the accounting of expenses recorded over a century ago. That was something I thought was interesting too. So he's been working on this for a century, 100 years. And then, yeah, okay. So
is that true? I like saw that and didn't know what to pick up on.
Yeah.
That innocent has been at it for 100 years.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the most challenging Deva Princes.
Yeah, this is a tough
of them all.
Yeah. This is where they're getting to know the new guy. And he tells him about what he can do for him. He's got this, these people who are really great. He can confirm their work. It's agreed. Everyone's down. He's in, and we're going to move forward with the Japan team to kill Pope Innocent. And when are they going to do it? Easter,
baby. I really like this one in the last panel. When they agree, they vote together as I, and it's white.
Yeah, and you can see the white plate right there that had to go.
This next building where Sherry Kniff is, I guess it's a basic building, is one of the best designed pieces of architecture in this series.
Yeah.
Trying to get this this looks the most like a Blade Runner piece of.
Yeah, I think so too. It's cool. And they're like flying into the hangar kind of thing. All right. So this is Orion confronting the board to basically get extra actions, to kind of like sanctions to get a little more power, and to get them to make it so that they can't be called up in front of the lady, the Inquisition.
Right. Well, this is
in order to like.
This is their stand where it says, "Are we not collectively above
the Inquisition,
the Pope?"
Yeah.
The church.
That's right.
All right.
And he's like, he wasn't sure. Sherry looks a little sad. We got the blimp. We got the hype page here.
Now I noticed that there's a new art director. He may have been around for a while.
Yeah.
Geraldine Peck, no more.
Gone. Okay.
This is Rick Taylor. It looks similar but a little bit tighter.
Similar but different.
Similar but different.
Sims but diff.
Different and tighter.
All right, we're back with the Kamiko blimp. I solved some shadowing issues that were making me crazy on to make it the best podcast it can be for y'all. All right, so we got the Kamiko blimp. It's talking about letterers. Diana's going on, and we see our dudes Bernie, Dave Sim in there. You're a good dude. Tom Warzakowski, Bob Pinaha. Yep, he's not your dude. Bob is the man, though. I like that they're talking about Bob. He does some good lettering. I can't say he's the man.
Would you like to know what the Amazon #1 is about?
Yeah.
Point Magazine reporter Malcolm C. Hillard sets out to the Amazon basin to uncover rumors about an American worker missing from an American-owned timber mining company, as well as the devastating acts of sabotage that have been occurring since his disappearance. What he finds When he gets there, is not so simple, especially the reports about a wandering spirit with revenge on its mind. The first of a 3-issue miniseries is the experiment in storytelling created by Steve Siegel and Tim Sale, who provide a beautiful cover painting.
There we go.
Darn, it's 3 issues. I only have the first 2.
Well, it's awesome. All right, we'll get the third. Maybe I'll give it to you.
Well, it's awesome. Okay.
Well,
this
it's awesome.
Poop and Pee serving Innocent and Mandrill.
Yes,
The waxing down his chair.
Yep. Okay, so this is finally when Pellon gets an audience with the Pope this issue.
Joe Matt
Kills him.
compliments.
Yes.
He really gets the sunset glow very, very nicely.
All right, so he comes in and he's like, tell me about the gun. What is the gun? Why do you need 600 tons of bananas? I want this straight between us if our working relationship is to continue. Yeah, I like that. I like that. And so he's like, poop and pee, leave.
Yeah,
Leave
he's
us.
very funny. Yeah, you see this, children? He knows about the gun. Very funny. This one where he takes off his hood on the next page,
Yeah.
it looks like Asterisk Polyp a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
That's very funny.
Yeah, we kind of don't get to see Innocent any way but grotesque, except for this.
He looks
panel.
altogether human in this one.
Yeah, first of the time. And so we get our next big piece of exposition on the sun gun.
Mhm.
It's no less than the fulfillment of God's dominion on earth. I just want to read it because it's like,
Yeah, because
it
it's crazy.
drops it out.
Because it's the craziest thing that
Yeah.
any character's ever said.
Yeah. When fired, it will chain react with the world's polluted ozone layer to form a blanketing shield that will block out the crucial ultraviolets. The world will be cold. And Pellon's like, except? And he's like, haha, you are perceptive, except for here, of course. The beam is also a collector as well, and as well as a prohibitor. Sunless, the world will be forced to turn to the church as the source of its warmth, its life, its very soul.
Right. And if they're going to be on top of the board, that means that they're going to have the discretionary money to be doing welfare.
To literally monetize warmth and
Yeah.
light and get access to the sun. It's insane.
Great.
The sun can power many very strong things. The sun is
It's a gas.
if only there was also some sort of person that could harness such sun. Anyway, all right. And the bananas, like Pellon really wants to know about the bananas. I want to know about the bananas, damn it. And he's like, it's an extract, an essence vital to the beam's effect,
What?
but not the most important. I still think that we don't get the full effect here.
He says meaning.
But he says, yeah,
plutonium.
meaning- right.
I'm confused.
So we're not getting the connection between bananas and plutonium. Maybe we can Google it to see if like there's something in bananas that actually does make plutonium. Like you grind up the,
Especially when he says, by the way, I need plutonium and I'm going to send you into the Sahara to get some.
right.
So there's something, some banana extract is helping them with the bigger goal of getting plutonium. Oh, okay.
All right. Well, so yeah, I guess, and all's to be said, there's still many questions we have, this is only part way through the trials
But
here.
Orion Assante is in the way. Don't worry. It's all been taken care of.
That's right. Yes. He says, yeah, what about Grendel and Assante? And he's like, yes, our persecutors. Again, Joe Matt.
Look at this beautiful glowing bolt of light.
Joe Matt.
Unbelievable.
So good.
Okay, so
As
this-
of right now, we are going to see Joe Matt tomorrow. So hopefully we're going to have a amazing chat. All right. So leave him to me. All right, Assante. All right. So now we go back to said Assante, where he's meeting with his sisters, his lovers, and talking about everything that's gone down, basically.
yeah, I don't know. They back and forth, the power struggle of, who can make the most use of bureaucracy at the very highest levels of power.
Exactly.
I guess. I'm not totally sure.
It's just like freakish timing. So he wants to fight and we'll be ready.
Is this the end? Is this where he?
Well, oh no, sorry.
Oh, no.
There is a really big thing that happens on this page.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. On this page, it's crazy because this is where they summon him for the Inquisition. Like they want him in front of the thing.
All right.
Okay, yeah. So they want them in front of
Oh, so he has to get the board.
the firing line.
But I understand.
Right. And he's like, no, you know what? They just passed the
So
thing.
bullshit. Right.
So he can't be called in.
checkmate, my friend.
Exactly. And that's when we turn here and
Right.
Pope Innocent is fucking
Yeah,
furious.
because his gambit.
Yeah,
didn't work out.
exactly. But then we have here, it might make a suggestion, Holiness. So if I make a suggestion, there are, of course, other ways to weaken his power structure. And so we go to the Deva Princes and they're starting to talk about the thing they're going to do it. And then what do we hear?
The blue guy is the new guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
But what we hear is nothing but bwams.
Yeah, it's
Unending
COP coming
bwams
in.
and crashes
Right.
until we see in the light of,
I guess this was Mother Amy's suggestion.
that's what I'm
Was
thinking,
send
was
COP
to destroy
on
the
the Deva
Devas.
Princes.
Yeah.
I guess I'm curious, like I'd like to know more about like their role and accomplishments over the last 20
The
years.
Devas, yeah, like
Yeah.
what has brought them to that
It's just
position
it's
of
just
power.
a aristocratic brotherhood of
Right.
secret society stuff. I
I'm
mean,
yeah, I really want to know
it's
that
it's like there's more story to be told here.
a lot more about the Devas.
These COP designs they're so burny. They're very simple and flat.
Yeah. And I love the like, I mean, it's almost like 2001-y type of explosion. It's kind of like the explosion off the gun that we're not seeing that like is 1 second, we're like behind it, you know?
Yeah. Police meeting adjourned. I think that the phrase meeting adjourned is supposed to have some kind of like extra religious, extra societal weight to it.
Oh, really?
For some reason. I think for me, it's pointing to the idea that there's plenty of, when we think about these Grendel assassin ninja types. Okay, and we're back. There's plenty of Grendel that exists in the boardroom, not just when it's being interrupted by paramilitary, private, Blackwater types.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, this meeting was definitely interrupted by some major types. And then that's when we're back to Pellon speaking with, okay, so this is where he's going. He's getting
going
ready
to the Sahara Desert.
See, I missed exactly where he asked him to do that. Where did he say
Isn't
that?
the last scene.
This scene right here? I have evidence and testimonials. No.
No.
Not there.
It's right here. Plutonium. You're my only hope for that, my friend. You stand a chance of retrieving some from the nuclear dump in the Sahara.
Okay.
So the question you asked him in this new scene is,
Okay.
how long is it going to take? So I'll be back in like 4 days, maybe 3 days.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I got it. So he is going to the Sahara.
He looks like such a rascal in this photo.
Yeah.
In this panel.
Yeah, he does. Right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love it.
Meanwhile, the bats that we knew were being zapped by a electronic grid.
Yeah. Like there's always one bigger. There's always a hunter bigger than you or something it's trying to say,
The
rats.
There's another thing. Pellon told Innocent about a layer of his enemies. They're in custody now, as you know. So they're just like,
Oh, okay. So now it's a little bit confusing. Maybe we thought it was Sister Amy that killed the Devas, but maybe it was Pellon that killed the Devas, and
no,
the
it's COP.
sister has a different
It might
way.
have-
Like
it
she
might have
might
been her
be
idea to
the
do it.
sisters too, or
it might have been her idea to do it.
Yeah.
And then they sent Pellon to
Yeah, they're like Pellon, where it is. Okay. All right. So yeah, we're back over here, and we're back to Orion Assante's lair, and he's getting this crazy message from none other than Harvey Keitel himself.
And we both agree that that's just Matt being silly.
Yeah. Well, what movie of Harvey Keitel was out when this was coming out?
Bad
Like,
Lieutenant.
I don't know.
I don't know.
And this is a very Bernie. I mean, this is so
Yeah,
Bernie
absolutely.
right here.
Absolutely. So this is Keitel. This guy was one of the Deva Princes.
Mhm.
I think a guy that I guess Orion brought in, perhaps.
Maybe.
And they're not immune to as they thought they were.
No, so this guy called Orion. You think?
Mhm.
Yeah, it had to be like
I
to be
guess
like,
so.
God, Orion, please, like they're coming in, and they didn't kill him because he's Jewish, because they don't have like reign over him. He says.
Is that what they said?
Mhm.
Mhm. Right, because
Right,
Sherry,
Harvey was Jewish. They couldn't hold him, and the others had all been
right,
baptized. Yeah,
Sherry was like
Yeah.
registered. So
yeah, so they were all taken into the Inquisition. Yeah, if not killed.
So it's a theocracy,
Yeah.
whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
And that's when Orion's like, dude,
Oh,
what?
I missed
Oh
it.
yeah. He's like, hell nah.
He says I'm Grendel. He says, surprise, I'm Grendel.
Yeah, he's like, what he's saying, he felt like it was a game of chess. He felt like Achilles or Hannibal. I felt like Lee and Lafayette, but most of all, I felt like Christine Spar.
Mhm.
Huge. Like all of them, I am surrounded by enemies. Like her, I am afflicted with the feeling of Grendel.
That's funny. He chooses Christine because it's easier, I guess, to justify her as an anti-hero,
Yeah.
right? And Hunter is obviously not a good guy, but she took the best of that essence in his view.
Yeah.
Made it her own. All right.
All right.
Cool.
All right. Well, let's check out next week's preview here. All right. Next week on Grendel, the rat. The rat gets revenge. Meanwhile, Pellon takes a journey to the Sahara to raid the nuclear depot for Pope Innocent as Grendel embarks on a trip of his own, a hallucinogenic search for truth. Devil's Delusions is written by Matt Wagner, penciled by Jay Geldof, inked by John K. Snyder, and features hand-painted color by the one and only Joe Matt. All right, duders.
Terrific.
All right, we are back, and you are watching The Devil in Detail. We're here. I'm Eli, this is Ben, and we're coming to you live from Woodland Hills, California, to bring you the score of this week's Grendel. We are back in studio. I thought it was great, man.
Yeah.
Again, there's big steps by everyone. There's big steps by Eppy Thatcher. There's big steps by Orion Assante, and there's big steps
By the creative team.
Yeah, by the creative team. Pellon is on his way, out into the desert, and it's pretty cool.
I do really love the flatness that Bernie's able to bring into it.
Yeah, he brings some amazing lines and shadowing.
It seems like John really leans into that, knowing that Bernie can sort of make things very graphic and flat.
This is the next issue coming up. This is 30.
This is also inked by Bernie.
Also inked by Bernie.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, while Ben's here, we are going to be recording a few in a row, so we'll be releasing them probably for the next month. So until next time, vivat Grendel, and keep on Grenelin.